Why isn't my homebrew airlock bubbling? Imagine waiting for your homebrew to ferment and wondering if everything is going smoothly because your airlock isn't bubbling. It can be confusing, but don't worry. The bubbling in your airlock is a sign that carbon dioxide is escaping from your fermenter. If it stops or never starts, it doesn't always mean your brew has failed. Let's look at some common reasons why your airlock might be silent. First, check if your fermenter is sealed tightly. If the lid or stopper isn't snug, gas can escape through small gaps or dents instead of bubbling through the airlock. This means fermentation could be happening, but the gas is escaping elsewhere. Make sure your lid is secure and the stopper fits well. Sometimes, a loose seal is all it takes to stop the bubbles. Next, consider the pressure inside your fermenter. The airlock works best when enough carbon dioxide builds up to push bubbles through the water. If your brew is early in fermentation, or if there's a leak, the pressure might not be high enough. This can cause no bubbling at all. Also, if you filled your airlock with too much water, it might requiring more pressure for bubbles to pass through. Filling the airlock only halfway up the chamber is usually enough. Another common reason is the start of fermentation. Yeast sometimes take a day or two to get going, especially if the temperature is cooler or if the yeast was underpitched. During this lag phase, little to no carbon dioxide is produced, so the airlock stays still. Patience is key here. Give your brew some time and check the specific gravity with a hydrometer after a few days to see if fermentation has begun. Fermentation can also slow down or finish quickly. If your brew is at a higher temperature, it might ferment faster, and bubbling could stop sooner. Once the yeast has consumed most of the sugars, carbon dioxide production drops and the bubbles cease. This is normal. Use a hydrometer to verify if your beer has reached the desired specific gravity. If it has, fermentation is complete, even if the airlock is no longer bubbling. Having a lot of empty space above your liquid, called headspace, can also delay bubbling. The more air above the beer, the longer it takes for enough pressure to build for bubbles to escape. Keep the fermenter filled to the recommended level, usually within an inch of the top, to help with this. Temperature plays a role too. If your brew is too cold, yeast activity slows down and so does bubbling. Conversely, if it's too hot, yeast can become stressed or produce off flavors, and bubbling might be inconsistent. Maintaining the right temperature for your yeast strain, typically around 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, encourages steady fermentation. Other factors like barometric pressure can cause slight changes in bubbling or water levels but usually won't stop bubbling entirely. If you notice no activity, check for leaks, ensure your airlock is filled properly, and be patient. Remember, the absence of bubbles doesn't always mean your brew isn't fermenting. Use a hydrometer to measure specific gravity and confirm if your beer is progressing as it should. In the end, most issues with a silent airlock come down to setup or timing. Ensuring your fermenter is sealed, your airlock is filled correctly, and giving your yeast time to get going are the best steps. Keep an eye on the gravity readings, and you'll know for sure when your brew is ready.